What's going on, everybody? You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. I was off today. I was at the crib prepping for NBA free agency tomorrow, where we're going to be live on the channel as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed and have your notifications on and come hang out with us over here on Knicks Now as we break down everything going down tomorrow in NBA free agency. But the news was hot. I had to come into work. I had to get you guys a video. Josh Hart has opted into his contract, his player option of $12.9 million, giving the Knicks the full right to the non-taxpayer mid-level exception without dipping their toe in the luxury tax. So we're going to break down Josh Hart and what he's got going on. We also have contract news around Dwayne Washington, Trevor Keels, and Miles McBride as we have an update on their player options and their offer sheets and whatnot and stuff like that. But the news of the day, Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting that James Harden has opted in to his contract worth about $35 million with the Philadelphia 76ers. And he followed that up by saying the New York Knicks are a team to keep your eye on alongside the Los Angeles Clippers. So I want to get the comment section rolling in today's video. Before we break down all the news, we're going to get you caught up with everything surrounding the orange and blue in MSG. Do you want the Knicks to trade for James Harden? Woj said the Knicks are a team that is expected to have interest in the former MVP and the star out of Philadelphia. So I want to hear from you as the audience continues to pile in, right under 200 people watching right now. Do you want the Knicks to trade for James Harden? Before I give my take, I want to hear from you guys. I'll give some shout outs in the comment section. Type T for trade. Type P for pass. My man Shipmaster Kyle says pass. Genuine Colin says pass. Rush says no. Kev Lowe says you guys want too much less. That doesn't even make sense. Zach Anderson says T. Mo B says Harden can't win, my guy. Joel Santos says trade. Kirk says no. Oh, Bobby says no. Max Miranda says trade. Rob says skip. Kicks TV says top 5 player. Ulysses Gonzalez says no. Kev Lowe also saying no. JP says trade. Malik says nah, we good, bro. John said hell to the no. Pokemon Cash says pull the trigger. Young Aaron says pass. A lot of passes in the comment section. Doesn't seem like a lot of people are all too fond of the idea of the New York Knicks trading for James Harden. We'll break that down in length coming up in about 5, 10, 15 minutes or so. But I do want to give a huge shout out to the first super chat of the day from Peace and Love is God. That's awesome. He says, as long as we can trade Randall, I'm with it. Maybe that should have been the question. Should the Knicks trade Julius Randle for James Harden? That should have been the question. Honestly, though, I know a lot of you guys understand where I stand on the Julius Randle stuff. I don't love him. I hate him at times, but I understand he's a good basketball player. Look, you don't make an all-NBA team two times out of 3 years unless you are a special basketball player. And there has been flashes of Julius Randle being that guy, unfortunately not in the postseason. But I would not trade Julius Randle for James Harden. Harden is older, he's more expensive, and he's got a lot of Julius Randle in him. Randle's younger, he's less expensive, he's more durable, and he hasn't reached his peak, whereas James Harden is on the bad side of 30, and he is no longer the player we saw with the Houston Rockets. Not even the Brooklyn Nets at this point. So peace and love is God. I appreciate your question or your comment. I appreciate your super chat. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not trading Julius Randle for James Harden. My man Alan Alford, what's going on, man? Good to see you in the live chat. He says, greetings, MG. Greetings, A Squared. He said, caught you, my bro. You've been killing it. Still watching, even though not catching the lives. Alan, I appreciate you, and I always see you in the comment section. Thanks for rocking and rolling with us here on New York Knicks Now. It's people like Alan that have been watching the show for over 15 months at this point, why we are the fastest growing New York Knicks channel on YouTube. So, Alan, I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you to everybody that is watching the show right now. We'll get to all the news. No need to rush. Let's hang out. Let's talk Knicks. Let's have some fun. We do have a super chat menu if we want to get crazy and start drinking a little bit here on today's show. At the end of the day, it was my off day. I'm not getting it back. I want to have some fun. I could do some beer shot funds. Every super chat, we'll give you a shout out. $10 super chat, we're taking tequila shots. $10 super chat, we'll take some shots. Let's go. If we get a $50 super chat, we will shotgun some happy dads on today's show. And if you send in a $100 super chat, you will join our Knicks Now Hall of Fame. We got the board behind us. We'll pop that up on the screen in a little bit. If you do want to support the show in super chat, we would greatly appreciate it. We got a menu for some fun stuff if you all do. I do want to pivot from the James Harden stuff real quick before we get back to that. There's a lot of smoke around the Knicks, especially after Josh Hart opted into his contract and his player option, that they have the full usage of that non-taxpayer mid-level exception, which is just over $12 million per year. A lot of smoke around Donte DiVincenzo as the guy the Knicks are going to go out and pair him back with his Villanova brothers in Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. I think that is almost already a done deal at this point. But Ian Begley said today that if DiVincenzo is not the guy that the Knicks inked to a contract, they could shift their focus to Bruce Brown, the NBA champion with the Denver Nuggets. So I want to ask everybody that's tuned in, rocking and rolling with us, who would you rather the Knicks sign an NBA free agency and use that mid-level exception on? Is it Donte DiVincenzo, the big ragu, or is it Bruce Brown, the former Net, now the NBA world champion, and a guy that was a key piece in that run for the Denver Nuggets? Which one are you rolling with, DiVincenzo or Brown? Sound off for me down below. Carlos says DiVincenzo. Nice Mellow says Bruce Brown. Mo B says DD, I don't need BB. Kev Lowe says Randall's season we got knocked out. Randall's the reason. He's not the only reason we lost in the second round of the Heat. Ulysses says DD, Brown is staying in Denver. I would be shocked if Bruce Brown returns to Denver. I think he's going to get more money elsewhere and maybe even a bigger role. Shitmaster Kyle says DD. Eduardo Nunez rolling with Bruce. SB says Bruce. Luis Fernandez says DD. Shitmaster Kyle says the Nova Knicks. I've said it time and time again. I don't have a problem with adding more Villanova Wildcats to this basketball team. They just play the game the right way. They're winning. They have that DNA in them. And I think DiVincenzo is a perfect fit for what the Knicks need right now, as well as I think Bruce Brown will be a good fit as well. And we'll debunk all the dumb rumors you're seeing out there that the Knicks, they already have too many 6'4" guards. The Knicks have two guards on this roster. It's Jalen Brunson and it's Emmanuel Quickley. I love Quentin Grimes. He is a wing. I love Josh Hart. He is a wing. And RJ Barrett, he is also a wing. Think about this. In Game 5 against the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks had to play Jalen Brunson the whole game. All 48 minutes for them to win. Albeit Emmanuel Quickley was injured, but they have nobody else that can create a shot for themselves or create a shot for others. And then remember, in Game 6, the 4 minutes that Jalen Brunson did not play, the Miami Heat went on a 9+ run, a 9-point swing, because they didn't have anyone else that could handle the ball. They didn't have anyone else that could initiate the offense. We had Miles McBride, who I love. I love Deuce McBride. But I don't want to see Deuce McBride pounding the air out of the basketball for 15 seconds, shot clock gets to 9 seconds, then try to make a move. It doesn't work like that. The Knicks, they need another guard that can handle the ball, play make, and make outside shots. DiVincenzo, he did it at a 39% clip last year for the Golden State Warriors. Other big news of the day, Josh Hart has opted into his contract with the Knicks. He will be back. He'll be making about $12.9 million. He will be contract extension eligible once August gets here. It gets here about 4 years, $80 million are the reports that we're hearing he could be eligible for. Let's show him some love, though, guys. Seriously. Josh Hart, one, he was the X factor for the New York Knicks this year. The Knicks had the third best record in the NBA once Josh Hart became a Knick. And now he's coming back to the Knicks on a discount. He was supposed to make $18 million this year, and he opted into his player option for $12.9 million so the Knicks could sign maybe his college teammate, Donte DiVincenzo. Show Josh Hart some love. I hate the slander that I see of Josh Hart on Twitter. It's a bunch of idiots talking over there. The Knicks were a better team because of Josh Hart, and I can't wait to see him back in Madison Square Garden wearing the orange and blue, the New York Yankees logo in his braids. The dude is a Knick through and through. I don't understand how anyone can have a bad word to say about Mr. Josh Hart, and the comment section is showing the love that he deserves. Type those threes, his jersey number, down below. My man Jack in the building with a $20 super chat. My man Jack is a legend in these streets here at New York Knicks Now. He says, I'd trade for him. I'm assuming you're talking about James Harden. He says, I'd trade for James Harden if it's a 3-team trade and we get Paul George, get Paul George and James Harden. That's what, wow. The Knicks get James Harden and Paul George. My, oh my, are we going to be turning up on the stream on Friday and Saturday as we break everything down that's going across the association. Wow. Jack, $20 super chat. I'm taking a shot. I'm taking a shot for my man Jack. Jack, I got the tequila for you, brother. We upgraded. No longer doing the fireball. That was kiddish. That was our freshman season. We're back. We're better than ever. We're moving on to the tequila. Jack, I don't know how feasible it is that Paul George and James Harden could be a Knick, but oh no, Jack says we'd send Harden to the Clippers. So you're saying the Knicks trade for Harden, or it's just a 3-team deal in general where Harden goes from Philly to L.A., Paul George goes from L.A. to New York? Okay. Look, I've said it time and time again. I love Paul George. I think he's the perfect on-court fit that the Knicks need at that small forward position. He's got the height, 6'9". He's got the length. He can shoot the ball from deep. He can make for others, but most importantly, he is a great defender. He will draw the responsibility of guarding the opposing team's best offensive player night in and night out. But the problem with Paul George is he's 33 years old. He's owed $90 million over the next 2 seasons, and hasn't played more than 60 games in 4 years. So definitely cause for concern with Paul George, but I will say it, and I will continue to say it, and I will make sure you guys understand it, because I say it for myself to understand it as well. There are no perfect players, and people don't trade perfect players. So when you're trading for someone, there's always going to be a reason that they're trading for him, and there's a reason that you could probably say no. Jalen Brunson doesn't play defense. He's a little bit small. LeBron James can't now knock down the outside shot consistently. Steph Curry, he's small, has ankle issues. Giannis can't shoot. You can make a reason to not trade for somebody for everything. There's no perfect players. And if a team is trading someone, they're definitely not perfect. Cheers to you, Jack. I appreciate you, my man. Woo! Shout out to Jack. That tequila, man. It just lights a fire in your chest. It just absolutely does. As Jason B is in the building. Oh, my Lord. The gang is all here. Jason, I hope all is well, my man. Hope you're having a good summer. Good to see you in the stream, man. That puts a smile on my face. It absolutely does. He says, yo, Marsh, great news on Hart, and no thanks to Harden. I take Dante DiVincenzo over Bruce Brown because of Brunson and Hart. Now, I don't disagree with that at all, Jason. I am extremely excited about Josh Hart opting in. That is huge news. He's taking a pay cut to stay with the New York Knicks, giving them more cap flexibility so they can go out and sign somebody without dipping their toes into the luxury tax. Also, I think I'm in agreement with you. I think I would take Dante DiVincenzo over Bruce Brown. One of the main reasons is because he is great friends with Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson is the face of the Knicks. And if Brunson wants DiVincenzo, you go sign DiVincenzo, because that's what you do when your star player wants somebody. I love the connection as well. I just think DiVincenzo has a little bit more guard skills. He could put it on the deck. He could create his own shot a little bit better than Brown. Whereas Brown, I think, is more of a replica of Hart. What you get in Josh Hart is what you get in Bruce Brown, whereas DiVincenzo is actually a guard. He can handle, he can create, you can involve him in the pick and roll. He can space the floor, he can guard good good offensive players. I'm with you. I would go with DiVincenzo over Bruce Brown as well, Jason. Thank you for the very generous contribution. I got another shot, so let's do it. Alan says, don't we need a tall wing more than a guard? I'll put it like this, Alan. I think a tall wing is a position of need for the Knicks if you're moving on from R.J. Barrett, because right now, R.J. Barrett is the starting small forward for this organization. And as long as R.J. Barrett is on this team, there's not going to be enough minutes for a tall wing to play. And a reason I think we need a guard more than a wing is this. We have two players on this current roster, as it is currently constructed, that in my opinion are actually guards and possess guard qualities and attributes compared to wings. I would call Quentin Grimes a wing. I think he has some guard upside, but I think we're still a couple years away from Quentin Grimes being a guy that can handle the ball, be involved in pick and rolls, and create for others. Josh Hart, he has guard skills, but he is a wing at this point. He is a small forward and a small ball four. We've seen that happen for the New York Knicks. I like R.J. Barrett. He is not a guard. He can't guard opposing twos. The only reason people want to say R.J. Barrett is a guard is because he's bigger and stronger than these guards and he can take them to the rim. What else makes him a guard? He doesn't play make that all that well. He doesn't have that all that tight of a handle. I don't see it. We don't have that many guards. We have Quickly and we have Brunson. That's it, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. We do have 415 people watching right now and only 50 likes. That's unacceptable. I'm thinking about shutting the stream off right now, to be quite frank with you. If you guys want to keep the stream going, hit that thumbs up icon. Once we get to 200 likes, we will take a shot at tequila. As someone in the chat says, Deuce McBride is a guard. He plays guard, but he's not a point guard, and he doesn't really have skills of a guard. You know how I know that? Because when he subbed for the Knicks in Game 6, when Jalen Brunson went out, he couldn't blow by anybody. He couldn't create offense. He was just sitting on the perimeter, dribbling the piss out of the basketball. We need someone that when Jalen Brunson's off the court, which Emmanuel Quickly can do, and he is that guy, but you need more than just one other guard outside of Jalen Brunson. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's go. As we are, 90, 95 likes away from the goal. Hit that thumbs up icon as we continue to break down everything happening around the Knicks. I want to do this as well. If you have hit the thumbs up icon in today's show, as Rob Rodriguez is in the building, the Godfather has made his way to the stream. Rob, you are a legend, my man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, don't shut anything down. We need people to hit the like button, Jack. As I do want to bring on producer Jack, and I want you guys, Jack, we'll get to it in a second. You got to be on camera. I need you on camera right now.
I got to set it up. Give me a sec. I got to set it up.
Show Jack some love in the chat. We wouldn't be doing this show if it wasn't for him. Rob, we appreciate you. Thank you, my brother. I got a beer shot from for you in just a second. But I need you guys to hit that thumbs up icon. Let's go. And me. How did that happen? Oh, my bad. My bad. Rob, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. Alan Alford, back again, Alan. Thank you for the very, very, very generous contribution so far. He says, if we, the Knicks, make a gamble, trade for the Claw, trade for Kawhi Leonard, he says, he would push us to the top of the East. The way I feel about Paul George is the way I feel about Kawhi Leonard, right? Great player, great on-court fit, winner, one of the best players in the NBA. When healthy. And that is a problem for Kawhi Leonard. He has missed more time than he's played in since he's been a Los Angeles Clipper. And he's getting older. But no doubt about it, Alan, if you were to take a risk, like if I had to come up with 5 players Marshall Green would risk the biscuit for, if I was the Knicks general manager, Kawhi Leonard is on that list. I think the talent is worth the risk, but man, if it doesn't pay off, you are in a world of trouble if you trade for Kawhi Leonard and it does not work. Remember, guys, to hit that thumbs up icon. We got over 400 people watching right now. We're 49 likes away from 200. Once we get to 200, we're going to start doing the cut. We're going to start the cut. We'll start talking ball. We got James Harden, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Dante DiVincenzo, Bruce Brown, a whole lot to talk about on today's show. So hit that thumbs up icon if you're ready Let's freaking go. As I'm going to knock down this beer shotgun real quick for my man Rob. If you send in a $50 super chat, we're going to do a beer shot fun. This is just a shotgun, actually. This is a shotgun, this new tool we got here at Chat Sports. It's pretty electric. Rob, love you, brother. Love you, brother. Here we go. Woo! Let's have a day, New York. Let's have a day. Just a perfect little incision right there. Let's have a day. Woo! Let's hit a real one roll call. Let's get the comment section flowing. If you love the Knicks, you bleed orange and blue, you rock out with New York Knicks Now, I need you to type real one down in the comment section. Let's get it going. Type real one. Let's go. I'll give some shout outs. Then we're going to get into the cut. Always get up says slow down. Hey, look, I don't know if you were here when I told you. I was off today. I was at the crib. I was about to play a little 2K. I was about to get into my general manager bag, making a couple trades. And then I got the push notification that Adrian Wojnarowski says the Knicks are in on James Harden. So I called up the bosses, called up producer Jack. I was like, yo, Jack, I need you to produce Knicks Now Live for me. I'm coming into the studio on my off day. So if I'm going to be at work on my off day, let's get fucked up. Let's get fucked up. We're getting fucked up. All righty. Crypto King, we will get to your super chat. We'll get to some super chats coming up in a second. Let's break down the news of the day surrounding the New York Knicks. Welcome in to just restart it. Restart it. I was sweating. Pop to Molly, I'm sweating. Woo! All right, restart it. Restart it. Get the forehead sweat going. Dude, I'm freaking pumped for tomorrow, Jack. I'm pumped. I can't contain myself. Oh, it's a do-over, Bill. It's a do-over. Bill, the best part of these do-overs is I do them all the time before I film in front of the fridge. Filming in front of the fridge is intimidating, Bill, and I got to get a couple do-overs every once in a while. All right, I'm ready, Jack. I think my sunburn's getting better, though. My shoulders still hurt like the dickens. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. CPJ in the building. Let's go. Let's freaking party. It's my off day. Let's party. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. NBA free agency is about 24 hours away from opening up, and the news and rumors are already circulating around the New York Knicks, and they are hot. This is why you subscribe to the channel, though, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your first time coming across Knicks Now by Chat Sports, go hit that big red subscribe button. We put out Knicks videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. We went live for 70 New York Knicks games on the channel this year. So if you love the Knicks and you're looking for a one-stop shop on everything orange and blue, hit that sub button. In today's show, we're going to talk about Josh Hart opting in to his player option, which is going to help the Knicks out in NBA free agency. We also have some contract news around Deuce McBride and some other young Knicks on this roster. Let's start with the bombshell of the day from Adrian Wojnarowski. So it was big news around the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden opted into the last year of his contract with the Philadelphia 76ers, paying him just under $40 million per year. But it is being reported that the James Harden camp, James Harden and his agents, as well as the front office and decision makers for the Philadelphia 76ers are working on a trade. Reports are coming out that via Shams that the 76ers do not see a future with James Harden. So we got that tweet first. It's like, wow, James Harden's going to get traded. And then Woj tweeted this. He said, the Clippers And the Knicks, the New York Knicks, are a team of interest in trading for James Harden, the former MVP, the former Houston Rocket, the Beard. Fear the Beard. Do we want this? Do we want James Harden? Do we want Jalen Brunson? And do we want Julius Randle to be the big three in MSG? That's the question of today's show, and I want you to answer it. Do you want the Knicks to trade for James Harden? Type D for trade, type P for pass. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So when you get hit with that YouTube ad break, let me know if you want the Beard in NYC. This is incredible. This is wild. This is what the NBA offseason is all about. This is what we live for as NBA fans. Sometimes the offseason is almost more intriguing than the regular season and the postseason. I'll tell you this much. I've had more fun in the NBA offseason so far than I did watching that lousy NBA Finals matchup. It was boring basketball. I don't care what people say. This is entertaining. Woj, literally though, 4 hours ago, I retweeted the tweet. So if you want to go to my Twitter at @MarshallGreen_, you could see it. Before Woj said that the Knicks could be in on trading for James Harden, he went on ESPN radio and said, I think they're going to stand pat. They can look towards next summer. That's when they have all the assets. That's when a trade could become available. He talked about it at the All-Star break as well. But right before Woj said that the Knicks are in on James Harden, he literally said he expects them to stand pat. So maybe something fresh came in. Maybe something new came in. And I also want to let you guys in on this. Let's go back to last summer. Remember last summer when we did Donovan Mitchell videos every single day? Who was reporting for the Knicks and who was reporting for the Jazz? It was Shams Charania reporting for the Jazz. And whenever there was a Knicks update, it was from Woj. Woj is tapped in with Leon Rose and the Knicks. Don't forget about that. I will say this, though, about James Harden. He's not that guy anymore. He's not the guy that won an MVP with the Houston Rockets. He's not the guy that had an MVP stolen away from him by his former Oklahoma City Thunder teammate in Russell Westbrook. He's not the guy that is arguably the best point guard in the NBA anymore, but he's still a solid basketball player. This past year for the 76ers in 58 games played for Philly, the guy gave you 21 points per night, 10.7 assists per night, 6.1 rebounds, and knocked down the three ball at an ungodly number of 38.5% from downtown. But look at the points per game per year. It goes down every single season. But my biggest bugaboo with James Harden is his playoff performance. Since he's been a member of the Philadelphia 76ers, he has been bad in the playoffs, shooting less than 40% from the field and less than 20% from less than 20 points per game. This past year in the Eastern Conference semifinals, against the Boston Celtics, in those 7 games, James Harden was not good. He averaged 22 points per game and 42% from the deck. He had a big game where he scored 42 points and 45 points, but overall, he wasn't good, and he hasn't been good in quite some time in the playoffs. But I say all that to say this. It comes down to the price. What is the price point for James Harden? What is Daryl Morey and the Philadelphia 76ers going to want in return for James Harden? The fact that he's on an expiring contract, has no future with the Philadelphia 76ers, I think his price comes down. We all saw what Bradley Beal went for in a trade when he went from Washington to Phoenix, and we said, what the heck was that? We all saw the price of Kristaps Porzingis going from Washington to the Celtics, and we said, what the heck is that? Because of the contract. Porzingis, 1-year expiring deal. Harden in that same boat. 1-year expiring deal. And with Bradley Beal, it's one of the worst contracts in the NBA, and he had a no-trade clause. So if you could get James Harden on a severe discount, I'll listen. But what is it going to take? When you look at the New York Knicks roster right now, think about the players that could be in a deal for Harden. Brunson, not a chance. Maybe Barrett. Maybe Grimes. Maybe Quickly. Maybe Toppin. You got to get up to about almost $40 million in salary cap space, though, to make a move for Harden. You got to match that contract. That's why the Evan Fournier deal of the $18 million in expiring money is so valuable, because it matches that contract and it gives the other team salary cap relief in just 1 year. But if the Knicks traded for Harden, I don't think it would just be a one-year rental. There's no way the Knicks would trade assets now and going into the future for Harden if he wasn't going to extend on his contract. If the Knicks trade for Harden, if the Clippers trade for Harden, there will be a contract extension. And that worries me. Do I want to pay a lot of money going into the future for James Harden, who is, looking up his age right here just to be sure, James Harden is 33 years old. He'll be 34 years old in August. Do I want to give a multi-year, hundreds of million dollars of guaranteed money to a 34-year-old James Harden who has not been good in the playoffs since he was a member of the Houston Rockets? No, I am not interested. No way, no how do I want to see James Harden dribbling the ball at the top of the key, waiting till there's 5 seconds left in the shot clock to make a move. I have my point guard. I have my face of the franchise in Jalen Brunson. But just to play devil's advocate, I'll say this. Could a Harden and Brunson backcourt work? Absolutely it could work. Luka and Brunson got to the conference finals, and Brunson's better. Harden is not what Luka is, but could the roles reverse? Could Jalen Brunson become the Luka Doncic of the Knicks like he was for the Mavs? And could James Harden become the Jalen Brunson of the Knicks like he was for the Mavs? Would not be the worst trade in the world, but I wouldn't do it. I would look elsewhere. I do know this, though, ladies and gentlemen. If more news and rumors come out about Harden, the New York Knicks, or anything surrounding the NBA, we're going to keep you guys in the loop. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Knicks videos every single day. We're going to be live on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for NBA free agency, and we are right on the cusp of getting to 26,000 subs on the channel. You love the Knicks. You want free Knicks content every day. You want to hang out with the best damn fans in the world? Subscribe. YouTube.com/KnicksTV. All righty, now that all the rumors are out of the way, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the news that's surrounding New York. Big news for Josh Hart and the Knicks. According to Woj, right at that 5 p.m. Eastern deadline, Knicks guard Josh Hart has exercised his $12.9 million option for 2023 and 2024. So he is under contract for one more year. He had that player option. He could have opted out and got a long-term deal from the Knicks. Why would he opt in? A couple of reasons. The Knicks now have the full rights to the non-taxpayer mid-level exception without dipping their toe in the luxury tax. Also, once the Knicks extend Josh Hart in August, he's going to be eligible for a 4-year, $81 million deal. So $81 million plus $13 million, that's $94 million. Josh Hart's going to get $94 million over the next 5 years. But an underlining detail that I don't see anyone talking about, when you are extended, you can't be traded for X amount of months. And if you extend in August, you can't be traded until late January, which pretty much gives Josh Hart a 1-year no-trade clause. Technically, it's not a no-trade clause, but at the end of the day, they can't trade him until the trade deadline is right in front of the New York Knicks' face. And as a guy that was drafted by the Lakers, traded to the Pelicans, and then traded from the Pelicans to the Blazers, and then traded from the Blazers to the Knicks, maybe he doesn't want to get traded again. Maybe he wants a home. And he said that. He said this next team he's looking for a home. And this amount of money, that ain't no chump change. Josh Hart's going to get his money. But the main reason he did it, the main reason he opted in, is so the Knicks had the full rights to that non-taxpayer mid-level exception. And he did it for his college teammate, Dante DiVincenzo, the big ragu. He's going to be a Knick. I think he is. I already think it might be a done deal. You're getting one of your best friends, your college teammates, to join you in Madison Square Garden with New York across your chest in orange font and blue outline. I think it's done. I think Dante DiVincenzo will sign with the New York Knicks on the first day of NBA free agency, and it's because of Big Bro. It's because of number 3. It's because of Josh Hart. How can you not love Josh Hart? The man took a discount. He's thinking of the team. He's thinking of ownership, and he's doing everything he can to make the New York Knicks better. I freaking love Josh Hart, man. I freaking do. Type those threes in the comments section. Show our guy Josh Hart some love. Talking about DiVincenzo, though, why would the Knicks be interested? They need another guard, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in length coming up in a second. But the main reason they want him, he's a good basketball player. He's efficient, and he was with the Warriors, 39.7% from downtown. The only two people on the Warriors that shot better from deep than DiVincenzo, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. The dude is lightning from three. He can also play defense. The defensive rating for the Golden State Warriors, better when DiVincenzo was on the court. When DiVincenzo started, the Warriors were 15-10 in those 25 games. He's a good basketball player, and he's going to help the Knicks improve on the margins, just like Josh Hart. Rebounding, defense, winning plays, shot making, assisting, playmaking, getting to the rack, the little things. That's what DiVincenzo is going to do. But people are going to say, Marshall, why do we need another 6'4" undersized guard? How many guards do the Knicks actually have on this roster? Jalen Brunson, he's a guard. Emmanuel Quickley, he's a guard. And although Quentin Grimes plays guard, he's a wing. And although you want R.J. Barrett to be a guard, he is a wing. And although you want to lump Josh Hart into being a guard so you can push your agenda that the Knicks don't need another guard, Josh Hart is a wing. The Knicks have two guards, Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel Quickley. And Quickley got hurt, and the Knicks had one guard. Game 5 versus the Heat, Jalen Brunson had to play 48 minutes. Game 6 versus the Heat, Jalen Brunson sat out for 4 minutes and the Miami Heat went on a 9-point swing. You need another guard. And albeit DiVincenzo is not technically a point guard that can create, isolate, and make moves, he is someone that's going to help this team and depthen out this rotation. If it's not DiVincenzo, though, some other players that the Knicks could look to sign for the mid-level exception, we've heard a lot of buzz around Bruce Brown. A lot of buzz around Bruce Brown. Ian Begley said that if the Knicks don't go out and sign Dante DiVincenzo, Bruce Brown is going to be priority number one. I also like Karis LeVert as well, who is more of a wing than a guard. He's 6'7", 6'8". He lit up the Knicks a couple times in that first-round matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I wouldn't hate it. I also don't hate George Niang, who is a 40% shooter from deep. Not going to cost you the full mid-level exception. Or if you want to go the CAA route and sign one of the best three-pointers in the NBA, you could go with Seth Curry. Those are top 5 guys I think the Knicks could be looking at in this mid-level exception market. Let's close the show, though. Oh, actually, we got more news to get to. We got way more news to get to. That's why you subscribe to the channel. Pick one of these to sign. Pick one of them to sign. Is it DiVincenzo? Is it Bruce Brown? Who would you rather see the Knicks sign? Both these players have been heavily linked to the Knicks over the past couple of days. Type their initials, DD or BB, down below. And remember, with free agency less than 24 hours away, you guys need to lock in your coverage with us here on New York Knicks Now. We're going to be live for Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday on the channel, breaking down all the moves that are going down across the association and specifically with the New York Knicks. So subscribe, turn your notifications on, and come hang out with us tomorrow on the channel. We do have some more roster news surrounding the New York Knicks. Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype said this earlier. He said, the New York Knicks are extending a qualifying offer to two-way guard Dwayne Washington, which will make him a restricted free agent, which means if Washington goes and signs with another team, the Knicks will have a couple of days to match that offer sheet. Washington was the guy the Knicks signed in the later half of the season, and like Scotto said, Washington averaged 9 points in 2 NBA seasons with the Pacers and the Suns. He played a lot for the Westchester Knicks last year. Fred Katz also reporting that the Knicks have extended a qualifying offer for Trevor Keels, the second-round pick out of Duke last year. Keels, like Washington, will be a restricted free agent this summer. He was on a 2-way deal with the Knicks this past season. The biggest news that we're going to talk about right now is Miles McBride. Shout out to Deuce Katz of The Athletic. Does a hell of a job. Thank you, Fred. He says the Knicks have officially exercised a $1.8 million team option on Miles McBride for the upcoming season. So McBride and Josh Hart are going to be back with the New York Knicks this upcoming season. Begley reported last week that teams have been in contact with the Knicks about trading for Miles McBride. The NBA offseason is just getting rolling, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff talked about in today's video. It was a longer video, and I appreciate you if you stayed with us this whole time. So prove that you're a real one. If you made it this far in today's show, I want you to type real one down below. So when I go back and skim through the comments, I'll know who's the real one. Woo! We got 500 people watching. Shout out to you guys. If you're not subscribed, hit that sub button. And if you haven't hit the like button on today's show, what are you freaking doing? Oh, Lord. I am all right. I just saw something. I'm a little bit late on this, but so there's that. As Jeremy Tits Chugs is in the building. What up, Tits? What up, Jeremy? My man, Jeremy Chugs.
Where are we at?
So give me 1 second, as I think Jack may have to import a layer right here. So we're at $150 in Super Chats. But we also just got $100 Venmo from Rob Rodriguez. Oh, 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 Rob Rodriguez coming in with $100 Venmo.
We're halfway there.
We're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer.
500. I'm taking out a boot for y'all.
How about this? If we get to 500 in Super Chats, we're at 250 so far. Producer Jack, we're going to get a live dolphin on air. Live dolphin on air, and I'm going to beer boot race Jeremy Chugs with a 20-second head start.
Okay.
If we get to 500 in Super Chats, we're at 250. Long way to go.
We get to 600, I'll do it shirtless.
600, he'll take his teats out again. Wow. How long do you think that segment was? It felt long. I'm saying like 16. Gotcha. If you're wondering what a beer boot is, it's quite literally a beer boot. You put 3 beers in here and you chug it. Jeremy Chugs can do this in less than 10 seconds. Literally less than 8 seconds. He is a GOAT. He is a legend. Rob, if you're still watching, I hope you are. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's run through some of these Super Chats. You guys were blessing the Super Chat game as we were in that cut. So I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around with us. My man, Goat Rider, a.k.a. Ghost Rider. Oh, what's up, brother? He says, yo, Marsh, question. If we signed Dante DiVincenzo, would you start him over Grimes? No, I would not. I would have my, you know what, Ghost Rider? I love this question. If the Knicks signed Dante DiVincenzo, I'm going to get yelled at this by some of you guys, and that's okay. That's okay. My bench unit, Emmanuel Quickley, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, Jericho Sims. I didn't say Obi Toppin. I believe Obi Toppin is as good as gone. I don't think Obi Toppin will be a New York Knick when the season starts. And I definitely don't think Obi Toppin will be a Knick if the Knicks go out and spend the mid-level exception on somebody. Unless another trade comes and it's a consolidation trade. If the Knicks sign DiVincenzo, and then let's say they make a trade for, let's just say James Harden, since that's the name that's getting brought up today, or Paul George, one of those two, then you keep Obi. But if your only move this summer is to bring in DiVincenzo or Bruce Brown, I think Obi's gone. So my starting lineup would be Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Randall, and Robinson with Quickley, DiVincenzo, Hart, Sims, and Hartenstein off the bench. That would be my rotation for the Knicks. Goat Rider, we appreciate you, brother. As Che Saucy comes in with their first ever Super Chat. If you Super Chat for the first time today, we're taking tequila shots for you. Che, you will never forget the feeling that you have going on right now. The first time you did it, the first time you broke through, and the first time you entered the Super Chat gang. You will never forget this feeling. You will never forget it, Che. Thank you for popping that cherry. The first, I can't say that. Che Saucy, we appreciate you. If you Super Chat for the first time, we're turning up for you. Yeah. Crypto King in the building. Thank you for the Super Chat, my man. Ian Begley. Is this a report from Begley? Begley is now saying Harden Knicks' interest in James Harden at the moment is far from uniform throughout the organization. Let me go check my tweet deck. I do think it's funny, Crypto, that right when the news dropped. Okay, a little bit more background here as we've gotten some more information. This comes from Adrian Wojnarowski. The Clippers are the most prominent team in trade talks for Harden. He's saying discussions have already begun with the Sixers and other teams. I'm assuming the Knicks are those other teams. He said Clippers are not interested in trading any of their good young players for Harden. He also said Philadelphia wants real value in return for Harden. Daryl Morey could be willing to wait longer for the right price. Wow. Where's that Begley tweet? Is he not in? I thought he was in my thing right here. So let's kind of recap. James Harden opted into his last year of his deal with the Sixers, and then reports came out that the Sixers and Harden were working on a deal. Then Adrian Wojnarowski said the Clippers and the Knicks are the two teams expected to be interested in Harden. And right when the news broke, Ian Begley said before Woj said it, he said the Clippers are expected to be in on Harden. He didn't mention the Knicks. Then Woj mentioned the Knicks, and now Begley is saying that reports that the Knicks' interest in James Harden trade is far from uniform among members of the organization, which tells me, Jack, could be wrong here, some people want him, some people don't. And I would believe the person that wants James Harden is Worldwide West, William Wesley. Hang the Trader said Woj did not say the Knicks. He 100% did. We even showed the tweet on the show. So, I don't know why you're being a hater, but the tweet quite literally is right here. If you need to put your glasses on, it quite literally says the Clippers, and the Knicks. He said it. But according to Hang the Trader, he didn't say it. God, you guys just literally. You know what YouTube commenters' favorite thing to say is? Fake news! Clickbait! Frickin' losers. Jason B in the clutch coming in with a $20 super chat. Jason, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Great to see you, man. I frickin' missed you. He said, I'd love to get Embiid. Think Philly would consider Randall Robinson quickly in picks. That's a good offer. My man. Says, I don't know why they would trade him, but I'd love to see it happen. I'll say this, Jason. If the Sixers trade Harden, and let's say it's not to the Knicks. Let's say Harden goes to the Clippers, right? I think that opens up the floodgates a little bit on these Embiid trades. What happens if, just put our little theoretical hat on, the Sixers trade Harden to the Clippers. They get back Norm Powell, Robert Covington for salary, and a couple of picks, right? Say the Sixers don't make the playoffs. Sixers make the playoffs, lose in round one. Is Embiid going to be happy? You couldn't retain James Harden. You got me playing with $40 million Tobias Harris. Could then Joel Embiid go to ownership and say, I don't want to be here anymore. You've failed to build around me. I'm already 30 years old. We've had Jimmy Butler come and go. We've had James Harden come and go. And the only person I've gotten to play with alongside me my whole tenure as a Sixer is Tobias Harris. I don't love the idea of Embiid, but man, it's hard to say no to an MVP, right? Like, I think an Embiid and Jalen Brunson duo could make you maybe the best team in the East. Randall, Robinson, quickly, and picks. I think that's the framework. I think that's the starting framework. If you could keep Grimes, that'd be huge. Jason, you might be on something there. I might be on to something. Georgia King coming in with a $5 super chat. We appreciate you, man. He says, trade for Harden, Miles Turner, and OG. My man wants to make all the moves. I've said it time and time again. I would like for the Knicks to be interested in Miles Turner. I like Mitchell Robinson. I think he's a good player. I think he's great at what he does, which is protect the rim and attack the offensive glass. But he's a net negative on the offensive end. And I think sometimes that limits the Knicks a little bit. Whereas I think Miles Turner is a guy that is not quite the rebounder that Robinson is. I think he is a better shot blocker. The numbers respect that. I wouldn't say he's as good as a perimeter defender, in those pick and pop, pick and roll switch situations where the center has to guard the guard. But I do think that Miles Turner on the offensive end shot almost 40% from three this year, would open it up for people. I don't know about trading for Harden. And if I'm trading for OG and Anunoby, shout out to Carl. I know it's Anunoby, but we call him Anunoby on this channel. OG and Anunoby. A little Knicks Now insider right there. But if you trade for OG, you got to give up Barrett or Randall. They can't all be on the roster. So OG's interesting. Knicks had interest at the trade deadline. They reportedly offered a trade of multiple picks and salary cap space. So maybe. It's going to heat up in a couple days, Georgia. So thank you. We appreciate you. As my man AA, Alan Alford, back in the building, he says, who would Philly want from the Knicks for James Harden instead for James? Who would they want? I'm sure they'd want Quentin Grimes. I'm sure they want Emmanuel quickly, and maybe even they'd want RJ Barrett and some picks. Daryl Morey kind of is similar to a guy like Masai Ujiri or I'm blanking on Danny Ainge. He doesn't like to even think he lost a trade. He's not making a trade unless he lost a trade. If he's trading a superstar, he wants a superstar. So I don't know. They're gonna want some young guys, and they're gonna want some picks. As Nick Davidoff with a $20 super chat. Not one, but two. Davidoff with back-to-back $20 super chats. As I see him in the comments saying, did you get my super chat? Yes, we did, Davidoff. We got the super chat, my man. My man Davidoff is a legend. He was going to Knicks games in the playoffs. He was traveling with the team. He went to the Miami games. Davidoff is a legend. The best part, Jack, after the Knicks playoff watch parties, Davidoff would be in the game, at the game, and then he'd come into the Knicks live watch party after, and he would just do it all. Davidoff, thank you, my friend. We love you. Thank you for all the very, very kind and generous super chats. It means a lot to me and to the channel and to the company here at Chat Sports. Thank you, sir. Fugazi. What a name this is. Fugazi, thank you for the super chat, man. He says, if it was in the cards, would you trade Randall or RJ? And if so, for whom? Would you take a chance at Zion? So, if it was in the cards, would you trade Randall or RJ? Matters who I'm getting back, right? Matters who I'm getting back. I've been on record, and I will say it again. I would trade RJ Barrett for Zach LaVine. I would do it. I know that's going to get some people mad at me, and that's okay. I'm here to have opinions, and I stand by them, and I'm okay with receiving the flack. I would trade RJ Barrett for Zach LaVine. I would also... you can just tweet it out from Chat Sports. That's cool. I would trade RJ for Zach LaVine. The Randall thing's tricky. Because I don't think the only way I'm trading Randall is if I get an upgrade at that position. That's the only way I would trade Randall is if I'm getting an upgrade at that position. If I had to pick one to keep, Randall or RJ, people are also going to hate me for this. let's work it backwards, right? If the Knicks are trading Randall or RJ, what are they getting? They're getting an upgrade from one of those two guys. So if you're getting an upgrade from one of those two guys, that means Jalen Brunson and the upgrade are your first and second option, which means your third option is who is left, RJ or Randall. And this is where I think people may turn off the stream. I think Julius Randle would be a better third option than RJ Barrett. I really do. I think RJ Barrett is better when he's more of a focal point of an offense, whereas if I think he's a third option, all he is just a weak side catch and drive player. He's not a great defender. Neither is Randall. He's not a great catch and shoot player. Randall's not great either, but considerably better than RJ Barrett. RJ can't create a shot unless he's getting down to the rim. Had a couple of nice mid-range step backs in the playoffs. Maybe that becomes of something. And Randall is a much better rebounder than RJ Barrett. And I just think if the Knicks want to be a consistent championship contender, you need a small forward that's an elite 3-and-D player. And I just don't see that in RJ Barrett's game. So if you hate me, you hate me. But it's just my thoughts. It's just my thoughts. Love this question right here. Name a free agent you want the Knicks to sign. Name a free agent you want the Knicks to sign. I'm interested. What you guys think? Who's a free agent you want the Knicks to sign? Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jason. Randall is definitely better than Barrett. And I just think in that third role, Jason, where you got to rebound. You got to be able to create your own offense quickly and efficiently. I just think Randall fits that third player role a little bit better than RJ. And I was the guy last year saying, no way, no how am I trading RJ Barrett for Donovan Mitchell. I didn't think RJ had the best regular season. I thought he had a good playoff stretch. He was bad the first two games against Cleveland, and he was bad against Miami in Game 6. But in between those 8 games, he had a really good 8-game stretch. I don't know. Jack, I need a favor from you. Can you go grab my laptop charger off my desk? Thank you, sir. Name a free agent you guys want to sign. We'll give some shout-outs to some answers down in the comments section. Slayer33 says, RJ hopefully blossoms more. And that's what you would expect, right? I mean, Julius is about 27, 28 years old. RJ Barrett just turned 23 years old. So I get that point. If you're saying you just want to roll with the younger guy, I'm not going to be mad at you for that. But will RJ Barrett ever be a 2-time All-NBA player? I don't know. And then people will bring up, well, what about Julius Randle's postseason performance? What happens when you move Julius Randle from being the first or second option to the third option? Okay, will looks be more open? Can he be double-teamed as much? According to next-gen stats in the NBA this past year, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle were 2 of the most double-teamed players in the NBA. So, a lot of stuff, a lot of takes. Just my thoughts and opinions, though. Just my thoughts and opinions. As we get some trade Barrett, OG Anunoby's not a free agent. You'd have to trade for him. Yeah, Reed says Paul George. You'd also have to trade for him. Naz Reid, the Giants-Knicks Duke report. Naz Reid re-signed with the Minnesota Timberwolves, so you can't get him. Keith Jackson says Seth Curry. Andrew says Paul George. You'd have to trade for him. Georgia King says Brook Lopez. A little older, but I don't hate him. I'm seeing some Draymond Greens, a Dwight Howard, a Kelly Oubre, a Yuta Watanabe. Yeah, CPJ says, whoever said trade for Ayton, please stop. Yeah, I don't want DeAndre Ayton on this team. Some more super chats coming in. If you super chat, we'll pop it up on screen. We'll talk about it for a little bit. As Davidov comes in with a $10 super chat, doesn't say a word. I wish you would include some text in these, Davidov, just because I want to be able to chop it up with you, man. But nonetheless, thank you. We appreciate you. And I love the new profile picture, man. It's freaking sweet. Love that hat. What were you saying, Jack? We are $200, less than $200 away from a beer boot race between myself and Jeremy Chuggs. But on top of that, a live dolphin. In the back of Chat Sports Studios, we have a dolphin, a live dolphin. Movie quality. dolphin? No CGI? The aquarium tank's in the back of Chat Sports. Once we get to $500 in Super Chat, we'll bring the dolphin on screen. That's hilarious. Rich Rob in the building. What up, Rich? Happy, what day is it? Thursday? When you're off Wednesday and Thursday during the week, it feels weird. Last night felt like a Saturday. Rich Rob, we appreciate you, bro. Says, can we please stop the Randall for OG foolishness? An all-NBA all-star for 16 to 17 points a night is nasty. James Harden would be messy in New York. Dead that. Yeah, I'm hoping the James Harden rumors are just rumors. I do not want James Harden with the Knicks. I mean, if you can get him for Fournier and nothing, sure. But I just don't see that happening. I don't see that one happening. As I'm getting a little text here. Hold on, let me view that in a second. As there were reports earlier in the day that the Phoenix Suns were meeting with Kyrie Irving. Someone is now saying, who works in Arizona, John Gumbardo, who is he? So a credible radio station host in Phoenix is now saying that the Suns are not meeting with Kyrie Irving. Credible guy, according to Jack Lotteray. Just taking a look at the comment section right now. J-Dub says, let's go get... let me answer the question. I'm with you. Look, I like OG Anunoby, a.k.a. Anunoby Rich Rob. But when you talk about Anunoby, he has to be your fourth best player on offense if you're going to play. Because predominantly, he's a catch-and-shoot guy, can put it on the deck once or twice. He honestly plays more like a power forward than a wing. His handle's not all that tight. But, man, he's legitimately a top 5 defender, perimeter defender at that in the NBA. But, no, I would not trade Julius Randle for OG Anunoby. I would not do that. So, I agree with you on everything right here, Rich, because you know ball. No Randle for OG and no James Harden. We saw what the nightlife in New York City did to J.R. Smith, the Henny dog, the Henny god. I don't need to see James Harden getting his jersey. I don't need to see James Harden getting his jersey hung in the rafters at the strip clubs in New York City. As Rob Rodriguez, $100 super chat. Bang! Shout out to Robert Rodriguez, a legend. Says, do you think Randall can ever play like a third option? Seems like he wants to play like a number one, seldomly passes the ball. Very fair question, Rob. Very fair. Maybe I'm being a prisoner of the moment. But I saw our Julius Randle take a step back this year for Jalen Brunson. And I'm going to pull up some stats right here. Hold on. Give me 1 second as I do this. I saw Julius Randle somewhat. That's a better word. I saw Julius Randle somewhat take a step back for Jalen Brunson. And when I look at the stats for Julius Randle, this past year, he attempted 18.6 shots per game. 18.6 shots per game for Julius Randle in the playoffs, in the regular season, right? In the playoffs, down to 14. Down to 14. What does that tell me? The injury was bothering him, no doubt about it, but he knew what time it was. He knew what the deal was. He knew whose show he was sitting courtside for. It was the Jalen Brunson show. Agree. He says, seldomly pass the ball. If you have been a watcher of this show, you've watched during our live shows, I have not been the most nicest guy to Julius Randle. He is frustrating. No doubt about it. I wouldn't even call myself a Julius Randle fan. But I understand that he brings a lot to a team. But my main last point on this, Rob, when you talk about Julius Randle, I think he's someone that just wants to win. I do believe that. And when he sat down with Paul George, if you haven't checked it out, Paul George had Julius Randle on his podcast, and Paul George asked him and said, were you ready to be a number one option for the Knicks when you signed with them in free agency a couple of years ago when he went from the Pelicans to the Knicks? And he said, and Randle said, I thought I was, but I wasn't. And that was kind of a wake-up call for me. Like, he came here wanting to be a first option, but he knew he couldn't do it. And he learned he couldn't do it through trials and tribulations. And then he said something even more specifically. He said, I play my best around better talent. And I thought about that. Julius Randle said he's at his best when he's surrounded with talent. And it's true. It's 100% true. Look at this. This past year, Julius Randle arguably had the best season of his career. First time he played with an all-star point guard. The second best season of Julius Randle's career. In 2020 and 2021, when he was second-team All-NBA, top 7 in MVP voting for the Knicks, averaged 24 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. He played with a real point guard. Second half of the season, he got to play with Derrick Rose. We talked about it all last summer. Julius Randle's numbers with and without Derrick Rose, astonishingly different. So, while I do have my concerns, Rob, about Julius Randle being a third option, I just think that he can and he will, and he doesn't really have another choice. Is he still going to have frustrating moments? Absolutely. Is he still going to jack shots he shouldn't? Absolutely. But when I think about RJ and when I think about Randle, who is more likely to be a better third option, I'm going to go with the guy that's more skilled and that does something else besides score the basketball at a high clip, and that's Randle. He is an elite rebounder. Even though I was hating on the rebounds at the beginning part of the year, RJ Barrett, what does he do at an elite measure except for get to the rim? He doesn't even finish around the rim at an elite measure. I don't hate Julius. I don't hate Randle. I don't hate Barrett. I'm just projecting my thoughts out loud as to what I think. I think a third option would be better if it was Randle than Barrett. Rob, thank you, my man. As we are $100 away from a beer boot race between myself and Jeremy Chucks. A $100 super chat or Venmo. We're going to do a beer boot race. And we don't have to get there with one person. We can get there as a team. But not only that, we're getting a live dolphin in the studio. A live dolphin will be entering the studio. Give me 1 second real quick here, Jack. All good. Awesome. Do you guys want the Knicks to trade James Harden? That is the news of the day. James Harden opted in to his player option with the Philadelphia 76ers, but it is being reported that the Sixers and James Harden are working on a deal, and Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting that the Knicks and Clippers are two teams of interest in a potential James Harden trade. So that's what we got right now on the program. That's what we got here on the program. Hit him up. Says Jokic got robbed at MVP. Remember, MVP is a regular season award. As now Shams Charania is saying the Miami Heat are expected to show interest in James Harden. According to Shams Charania, the Miami Heat are now showing interest in James Harden. Wow, oh wow. That's crazy. As my man Rich Rob Just came in with a super chat. Once Jack comes back from the bathroom, Rich, we'll pop that up on the screen. Sounds like a lot of people do not want James Harden, and I'm right there with you. I don't want James Harden either. I don't want James Harden either. At all, to be honest with you. I don't want him. I'm right there with you, CPJ. I think more teams are going to be interested in James Harden. We're going to see more and more happen. As I'm getting a FaceTime from my brother real quick. I'm going to answer that. What's up, man? I am working. We're live on Knicks Now as reports are coming out that the Knicks are interested in James Harden. What do you got there, baby Cohen? He doesn't seem all that interested. Is that another baby on the way? Oh, Cohen's getting a little sibling. We don't know. Cohen, what do you think? You don't seem too excited. I'm now an uncle. Well, I'm an uncle of two. Let's frickin' roll. He's even got his Knicks orange on today. Look at that. As Cohen, the man, the myth, the legend. Hey. Oh, he's such a cutie. Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, let me call you back in a little bit. That's freaking awesome. I love you guys. Love you. Wow. I'm going to be an uncle of two. What a day. What a day. What a day. Wow, my brother, his son is just over a year old, and he's probably about 16 months, I'm guessing, at this point. Maybe 15 months at this point. And I'm going to be an uncle of two. Holy Toledo. I kind of got chills right now. I was not ready for that. Oh my God. Yeah, Rich, he is not pulling out. Holy Toledo. Congratulations to my brother Trey. Another New York Knicks fan added to the world. What a day. Rich said his gun goes off. Shout out to Trey. You know what, Rob? You're right. I'm doing a beer shot fun for the new baby green. Holy shit. Rich, or CPJ, my man is like Mitchell Robinson at the free throw line. All right. To baby green, number two. To Rich, to everybody that's showing love. Love you guys. Ah! Woo! What a day. Wow, I was not expecting that. I'm kind of shook up about that. Wow. As no advice, please says I love watching Marsh tipsy. I love watching tipsy Marshall. Hey, I'm sober. The only problem I have right now, Jack, is I have not eaten anything today. And those two shot funds I'm already feeling it. Wow. I'm going to be an uncle of two. Wow. That's incredible. Holy sheet. As my man Rich Rob did come in with a $2 super chat. Rich, thank you, brother. Thank you. He said, yo, could this be about a 3-team deal to get Paul George? That is a great idea. Someone earlier brought it up, but yeah, I think it might be. Dude. My stomach is in shambles already. To Baby Green, Trey Miles, we appreciate that. Maybe they turned the show on as they're watching at the house. If they are, we love you guys. Thank you for everything. And you guys are going to be great parents again. Absolutely. Absolutely. So they already have one baby boy named Cullen. I kind of want them to get another boy. So like they could be the best duo in youth sports ever. Like they'd be on the same team. The younger guy would be playing up and playing with the real ones. That'd be elite. That'd be elite. Oh, show some love to Josh Hart. Josh Hart opted into his contract with the New York Knicks today. It gave them full usage of that non-taxpayer mid-level exception so they can sign somebody without dipping their toes into the luxury tax. Rich said, that's how my nephews are. It's pretty damn cool. It's pretty damn cool. Levi's the best, says Marsh. Do you think we should trade for Grant? No, I'm not all that interested in Jeremy Grant. I'm not. Rich, I like the thought you just brought up of the 3-team deal. Harden to Clippers, Paul George to the Knicks. I'm in on that. I love the on-court fit of Paul George. I love it. But 33 years old, $90 million guaranteed over the next 2 seasons, and the injury bug being very, very attracted to Paul George, specifically since it became a Clipper, is definitely worrisome. Definitely is. AP says he wouldn't have to be the guy here. No one has to be the guy here. Jack, you know who the guy here is? Jalen frickin' Brunson. This is Jalen Brunson's team. Get somebody on this team that makes life for Jalen Brunson easier. Make a move to get somebody on this team that makes Jalen Brunson's life easier. That's all you have to do. That's all you freaking have to do. Are y'all live on Sixies? Oh. That's where I stand. Get somebody on the freaking team that makes life for Jalen Brunson easier. I don't need Jalen Brunson playing 48 minutes on a road playoff game in a do-or-die situation. I don't need Jalen Brunson to play 45 minutes in the Game 6 on the road against the Miami Heat. And when he goes out for 3 minutes, the other team goes on a 9+ run. I don't want that. I don't need that. I need someone that can lighten the load of this team to help Jalen Brunson become the best point guard in the NBA. He's already top 5 in my opinion. He's already top 5. My man CPJ says Brunson is the guy. Damn straight, son. Damn straight. Wow. What a day this has been so far. It's a good question, Jack. What do you think? I don't know. What do we want to do, chat? What do we want to do? Do we want to stay live? Do we want to party? Do we want to log off? Do we want to do a beer boot race? What do we want to do? Do we want to do a mailbag? I don't know. Kevo says, I say move off Mitchell Robinson. Bush Kid said OG to the Knicks. Levi's the best says answer questions in the chat. Big Tuna says, would you mean someone like D Rose? Duh. T Money says, would you trade for Tobias Harris? Honestly? You want my honest answer? T Money? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Tom Thibodeau loves Tobias Harris. Tom Thibodeau loves Tobias Harris. If Tobias Harris is your small forward next to Brunson and Julius Randle, I don't think it makes you a title contender, but it makes you better than you are right now. And I believe Toby is on an expiring deal. The Knicks Giants Duke report says Obi for Boucher. No. If I'm trading Obi, I want a future pick. Or a veteran stretch 4. I want a veteran stretch 4 or a pick for Obi Toppin. That's what I want. T-Money, I don't hate Tobias Harris. Chris P. I always mess up his last name, so I'm not even going to try to say it. But Chris P. of Knicks Film School, which is another awesome content creator group, I would say, that covers the Knicks Film School. They're on YouTube. They're on all the podcasting services. Chris P., if you're watching this one day or gets sent to you, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say your last name. He said that Tom Thibodeau wanted to trade Julius Randle for Tobias Harris before the season. That's what he said in the show. So, as Soch, S-O-C-H, says, dude hates RJ. I quite literally don't hate RJ. I don't. And if you watched the show at all last summer, you would know I don't hate RJ. I said, no, I don't want to trade RJ for Donovan Mitchell. And I was wrong. I was dead wrong. Just because you know what, Jack? I want you to mic up for this. You know what pisses me off? You know what grinds my gears? You know what gets under my skin? You know what just ruffles my feathers? When I, as a Knicks content creator, talk about A, trades that come from somebody else, B, rumors, or C, my own trade ideas, and if it involves player X, that means Marshall hates player X. Why? Why is that a thing?
It's not what we're out to do. We're just exploring. Well, one, if it's not your trade idea, like this is the one that gets to me. Sometimes it's like we're just talking about what other people are saying.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that we don't like the player or something like that. We're simply talking about a report that someone else said.
Yep.
And then if it's your trade idea, you're just exploring possibilities to, I don't know, potentially make the team better, get more cap space. I mean, that's just the game.
I'm right there with you, Jack, and it upsets me because I don't hate anyone on the Knicks. By the way, great hat Jack is rocking right there. Grade Jack's hat in the comments, A, B, C, or D, or F. If you say anything less than an A, I'm blocking you on the channel, so you better not do anything. Rich. I will ask Rich Rob and CPJ if they're still watching because they are two guys that I know watch every single show. They watch every single episode, and they've been rocking and rolling with us since 2021? 2021? Do I hate RJ Barrett? If you want to say I hate Julius, that is more than fair. I have been very critical of Julius. I have said mean things about Julius, which I regret at times. But I'm man enough to admit the dude's a good basketball player. He is. No, I don't hate RJ Barrett. Am I upset his progression has taken this long? Yes. Am I upset that he took a step back as a three-point shooter this year? Yes. Am I upset and hurt that he took a step back as a defender and an effort player this year and a guy that helps you win on the margins? Yes. Am I proud that he became a better finisher at the rim? Yes. Am I proud that he gets to the rim and he gets fouled more than a lot of people in this league? Yes. Do I think that RJ Barrett can be a starting small forward on a contender? No, I do not. Does that mean I hate RJ Barrett? I guess that's for you to decide. Trey Miles says the hat was elite, Jack. It sounds like it is personal for you, SOCH, or you wouldn't have said it. You literally said this dude hates Barrett. No, I don't. Killer Boy says, do you think DeMar DeRozan would help us over the hump? Just want to know what you think. I personally do not. Just because I think DeMar DeRozan is he's an average to below average defender. And I think his offensive game is redundant for what the Knicks already have. And why I think that is because Jalen Brunson, what is his game? Getting to the rim, scoring in the paint. What is Julius Randle's game? Excelling from the foul line down. How does R.J. Barrett make his money? Getting to the rim. The Knicks need more three-point shooting. The Knicks need someone that can knock down a catch-and-shoot shot, that can create their own shot. And while DeRozan can do that, one of the best mid-range scorers this league has seen since the 1990s, I just think that it's redundant. I don't need four players on a team that all do the same thing of attack, play downhill style. I want a guy like on Zach LaVine who can cross over, step back, 30-foot jumper, bang. The Knicks need someone else that can create their own shot from the perimeter, that can score without having to get to the paint, that can catch and shoot and knock down threes. I think DeRozan's a great player. I think he's a good scorer, and he's got a little back to the basket game. But I need someone that can play on the perimeter. I need someone that can stretch the floor. That's my take. Will made a comment I didn't see. Will says, I think I remember Jack wearing the Dolphin last year. Jack may or may not be the Dolphin, but we will guarantee a live Dolphin comes on air if we get to $500 in Super Chats. We are $87 away from getting $500 in Super Chats. As Fred Katz of The Athletic just said, in the Clippers' pursuit of James Harden, we have our first big-time cap gymnastics moment for a team over the second apron. Huge day for the nerds. I think Harden's a Clipper. And I'm hoping that means Paul George is a Knick. Big Tuna says, this is a fair comment, Tuna. He says, 22 years old and giving 20 points per game. Best young player we've seen in years, and impatient fans won't even let him develop. How many years do you have to give someone to develop? How many? How many years do you have to give someone to develop? That is a top 30 pick. How many? He's already been in the league 4 years. Do I think R.J. Barrett has reached his peak? No. Do I think R.J. Barrett will have a long, successful career in the NBA? Yes. Do I think the Knicks can get to the top of the mountaintop with R.J. Barrett on this roster? I unfortunately do not. If that makes you think I hate R.J. Barrett, if that makes you think that I am someone that doesn't want to let him develop, draw your own conclusions. But this is what I know. The Knicks need to make moves now. And you know why I need to say that? Jalen Brunson. He's on one of the best contracts in the NBA, making $25 million per year. Julius Randle is making one of the best value deals in the NBA, making less than $30 million per year. They're both on those contracts for 2 more years. You're going to have to pay them sooner rather than later. Your window to make moves is right now. I'm not asking R.J. Barrett to be an all-star, T-Money. I'm not asking R.J. Barrett to be an all-star. Can I ask R.J. Barrett to shoot better than 30% from 3? Is that fair? Is that fair? Am I allowed to ask R.J. Barrett to not get worse in three-point shooting over the last 3 years?
Talk to him.
Is that fair? Is that fair? I think it is. R.J. Barrett in his second season in the NBA, when there was no fans in the stand and there was COVID going around, shot 40% from 3. Then the next year, 34% from 3. And then the next year, 31% from 3. If that makes me a hater, it makes me a hater. Just my take. Yeah, we're about to sign off on today's show. We've already been live for an hour and 30 minutes. We've broken down the news. It's my freaking off day. I came in on my off day to hang out with you guys, and you're calling me RJ Barrett haters. CPJ, that's because you have a brain, and you know I'm not an RJ Barrett hater. Dap it up. Dap it up. Tom Thibodeau Foundation. All righty, we're going to sign off on today's show. Remember, we're going to be live tomorrow on the channel for NBA free agency. This will be the thumbnail of the live show. I better see all you filthy animals in the chat. Love y'all, even though if you hate me because I've said RJ Barrett has become a worse three-point shooter over the last 3 years, that's okay. I'll say it again. I think RJ Barrett's going to have a good career in the NBA. I don't think he's the version that he's going to be I don't think this version is who he's going to be forever. I just think with the way the Knicks are constructed right now and the win now mentality they need to have with the value contracts of Brunson and Randall coming up to an end, I think he's the sacrificial lamb, considering the Knicks offered him and Donovan Mitchell trade time and time again last season. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. We're going to sign off on today's show. See you later.